Controversial teen magazine. It's called Sassy, and home reporter Robin Young says it may be coming to a TV near you.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi,
well, you know, this isn't a terribly serious issue unless, of course, you are a preteen or a mother who has one. And I was surprised to find out in a recent study it showed that many young women, they love their teen magazines because of the articles, the information they can't get anywhere else. But they hate them because of the unrealistic perfection. They can't live up to it. And it made me think again about Sassy Magazine. I did a story a few years ago. Now, this is a magazine that believes you should embrace your imperfections, and editor Jane Pratt is taking that thinking to television. She's only 29 now, but she was 24 when she started this magazine. So let's take a look at Sassy now and then. When it first debuted, Sassy was fresh and frank. It was put together by a staff almost entirely under 25, and it seemed a true savior for girls like these from Milwaukee. Their already fragile self-images were further battered by the perfect models in most fashion magazines.
Do you ever feel totally good about yourself and comfortable with yourself?
No.
They told me Sassy let them know they weren't alone in their insecurities, and when they felt they were, it became someone they could turn to.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of a thing that you can do by yourself, and you don't have to tell other people that you're reading this article about virginity. Yeah. You know?
It's like a quiet friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But articles like this one on boys' biology were very unsettling to those who grew up when cuticle maintenance was the big issue.
It still is a big issue, I think, yeah.
It's not the biggest.
Fast forward 4 years.
I love that one. I mean, because it's so cool and it's so sassy looking. Like
Editor Jane Pratt is now teetering on 30. She and the magazine weathered a boycott by the moral majority without losing Sassy's frank approach. She launched a New York talk show, and when that was canceled, made plans to take a show nationwide and made appearances on everyone else's show.
Jane Pratt.
All while overseeing the magazine. Now, although some of the staff have grown and are a little tired of being called on to be the new kids on the block,
I turned 30. It's not easy turning 30.
they've developed a small but devout following of young teens who care about issues, any issues.
My eyebrows grow together as one. I'm terrified that I have AIDS. Do you have any advice for me?
Well, this one is about, like, the Persian Gulf and stuff, like, what the heck are we doing in the Persian Gulf?
But would you read that, Chris? Is that something that...
Yeah, because, like, when you watch the news, you don't really get the teen perspective on it.
14-year-old Christy Costabile of Palatine, Illinois, is a typical Sassy subscriber. She's been known to write the publisher if she gets her copy later than her friends do. She then devours it to find out how other teens are handling life.
Oh, that's a good thing for you.
She's made this like the boys did with baseball cards. They would get together with their friends and they'd compare and trade and everything, and this is what her and her friends are doing now.
Do you think that you could have handled a magazine like this when you were 14 years old? I mean, here's a question about periods. Is it true that 1 year after starting, you don't grow anymore? No. Oh, I know what it was. It was the peeing thing.
The peeing thing was the best one. How do you pee quieter?
Kissing with your retainer.
I could have handled it. I don't think my mother could have.
Her mother's answer to everything, you'll find out when your time comes. But Joan Costabile says her kids can ask anything they want, that Christy comes to her if she needs to know more about something in a magazine. And Joan knows something else that we discovered. Young girls will not read anything, especially sexual information, that they're not comfortable with. They didn't 4 years ago.
Oh.
You don't want to read it?
I don't know. I just feel embarrassed.
Well, you feel uncomfortable.
And they don't today.
A lot of it is kind of more grown up than a 14-year-old would really need to know.
It sounds like it just makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable because you just aren't ready yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, well do you ever feel pressure from Sassy Magazine to get into topics that you're not comfortable with yet?
No, that's the thing I liked about Sassy, is it tells you not to do anything until you're really ready for it.
I'm not serving you that.
So as we left, this mother had but one question. Who's the woman behind the magazine that's captivated her daughter? The editor who receives hundreds of fan letters and with a TV show could become the Oprah of the preteen set. Just who is Jane Pratt?
Yeah, I probably will start watching the show when it comes out or when it's available here.
Why?
You know, well, to kind of see what this woman's attraction is.
Well, let's find out. Here she is, editor of Sassy Magazine, Jane Pratt. And she's over 30.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Thank you. Good to be
I
here.
thought it was so hysterical, Robbie. You couldn't even complete reading this question in the...
Well, times have changed. Times have changed, as we've seen. But Jane, first of all, we have to find out. Do you have an announcement? Is this definitely going to television?
Yes, I can now announce here on the Home Show that that the show that we were doing in New York is now going national in January.
Well, terrific.
Very
Congratulations.
exciting. Thank you.
Now, what kinds of topics? Will you cover the same topics as in the magazine?
Yeah, it's a talk show for young people is the idea. So we're going to cover the same range of topics that we cover in the magazine, which is everything from, you know, what to do when your hair goes wrong in the morning to the homeless, you know, teenagers who are homeless, to President Bush's drug war, to zits, to
what would you ask Hillary Clinton?
Oh, wow. Well, one of the things that I'm really interested in is the fact that so many sassy readers and so many young people are dying to vote and dying to have their, you know, their voices heard, but a lot of them are having trouble registering to vote. So I would be really interested in what her ideas for getting more young people registered would be.
Do you think it's a good idea for moms or dads to read Sassy, to get an idea of what's going on their kids'
Absolutely,
minds?
and so many of them do. They write me like these little, you know, clandestine letters saying, I actually read Sassy to find out what my teenage daughter is interested in, and then I know what to talk to her about.
But what about you? Here you are, as we've said, teetering on 30. Teetering on 30.
You're going to keep reminding me.
Do you think, when you started at 24, you said you thought you'd be too mature at 30 to do this. Do you think you can hold on to that teen spirit?
The joke when I first got this job was that they were going to retire me when I hit 30. But actually, it's weird because I'm not really maturing as quickly as I thought I would.
Good.
I don't know why.
I don't think any of us are.
I guess that's it. But I'm still, you know, I bought this in a thrift store, and I was still spent last week at these Lollapalooza shows, which is, you know, concerts, rock concerts. So I'm still out there doing the things my readers are doing.
And the other thing is, I think at the end of the magazine, you need to have some sort of a translation for the magazine. There's words in there, gorge for gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
It seems. I think I'm right.
Yeah.
You've been reading.
I should give, I'll make a glossary, right?
Yes,
Teen
exactly.
parents, deaf and rad and all those things.
And then maybe you can
That's a good
understand
idea.
your kids. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Jane.
Thank
Good
you.
luck to you.
Thank you so much.
And thanks, Robin. Next, surefire ways to straighten out your finances. It's Gorge.